Is Carson Bench the front runner to win the right field starting job? Is Freddie Peralta going to get a contract extension from the New York Mets? And stock is down. The Mets have lost a reliever. And WBC updates as Juan Soto continues to cruise for the Dominican Republic. You're watching Mets Daily. We got a busy Monday show. It is Monday, March 9th. I'm your host, Jake Brown. You can follow me right here at Jake Brown Live. Go get me on YouTube, on X, on Instagram, on TikTok. We'll be a lot more active on there now, so make sure you follow me across the board. Follow this show. Subscribe to this show. You can follow us on Twitter, on X, at Mets Daily Show. And make sure you hit that thumbs up in the video. Comment below. We'll read your comments on tomorrow's show. And we appreciate you for joining us. Let's start off with Carson Bench because, listen, when I said I think he should start in the minor leagues, I had the caveat of if he tears it up in spring, he's going to have a hard time losing the job because the Mets like his ability to battle. They like that he doesn't strike out a ton. They like his arm. He played center field on Sunday, which is another caveat they might like. You know, a guy that can play all outfield positions. Remember, Luis Robert has had some injury concerns the last couple of years. If Luis Robert were to go down and you have Carson Bench with the ability to play center, and then you have someone like a Mike Tauchman play right, you're feeling pretty good about yourself. So the Mets are thinking to themselves here, hey, we have to think about Robert, keeping him healthy, and if he's not, what can we do? Melendez, who I really like, playing for, backing up in Team Puerto Rico. MJ Melendez had a split contract, so the Mets don't have the need to have him on the opening day roster. He can start in AAA. I think Melendez is going to be a factor on this Mets team. If it's not opening day, it's going to be at some point. So he was a good guy to pick up. I don't think it's, if Bench wins the job outright, Melendez is AAA, and then you keep Tauchman. I think they have an ability to keep Tauchman and Taylor, considering Robert's potential injury concerns, and considering you don't want to put all the pressure on Bench. Like, you want him to be the starter, but do you want him playing 7 days a week? No. I think you play him 4 to 5, and you play Tauchman the other days, and then Taylor's the backup. We got to see how they construct the roster, how they construct the infield, what is Lindor's health status. But I think there is a way to make it work where you have Taylor, Tauchman, Bench, and you have Melendez in AAA. There is a way to make that happen. But Carson Bench hitting 350 in 7 games. Carlos Mendoza raves about him. He has stolen base. He's doing a lot. He's making the magic happen for the Mets. And, it's exciting to see. If you're a Met fan, like, if Bench won the job, you wanted him to win it outright in terms of just being a great hitter in spring and battling. And that's what he's doing. 3 runs, an RBI, a stolen base. And he's embracing what he's learning from veteran teammates. He's learning from Tyrone Taylor, Juan Soto, Marcus Semien. So, Carson Bench, let us know in the comments. Is he going to win that job? Carson Bench is a young, energetic player. That's what he is. And in the new year, I'm sure Carson Bench is thinking to himself, hey, I'm going to start some new routines. I might be a Met. Lay off the caffeine, the nicotine, the late nights, the gym, at work, the New Year's when everything gets a reset. And, my sleep was slipping, recovery was getting harder, stress feeling higher than it should. That's why I decided to use Ultra pouches, completely nicotine-free, caffeine-free, packed with nootropics that are designed for mental clarity and enhanced focus. Same kick as a nicotine pouch without those side effects, the buzz, jitters, gum rot. Most pouches elevate cortisol, raise blood pressure, and keep your body at a constant stress rate. Ultra pouches let you keep your pouches, but with a cleaner kick. One of my biggest New Year goals was better sleep, and that's where I noticed the difference first. Another New Year's goal is better workouts and recovery. Nicotine disrupts the hormone balance. You don't want to do that. It can lower testosterone, and it can literally shrink your balls. You don't want ball shrinkage. Do you? We don't do that here on Mets Daily. Started the year with focus, discipline, and consistency. 90% of users saw significant improvements in their overall focus levels. Trusted by top athletes, entrepreneurs, and engineers around the world, Ultra is the ultimate guilt-free pouch, delivering instant focus and mental clarity without nicotine or caffeine. New customers can use code FANARCH to get 15% off at takeultra.com. That's takeultra.com. longtime for 15% off with code FANARCH. After you purchase, they will ask you where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them that's Daily sent you. Shout out to Ultra. Freddie Peralta never needs he might not never eat Ultra because he's just built with energy. But he should try it because he might need a little more energy if he wants 7 to 8 years in the New York Mets. Freddie Peralta reportedly wants 7 to 8 years on a contract extension. Will the Mets go that long is the question. I think all the vibes, the aura of Freddie Peralta, we know is off the chart. You know, the guy is always smiling. He's so fun. He's awesome. We love Freddie Peralta. David Stearns doesn't love 7 or 8 year deals when it comes to starting pitchers. We know the Soto contract is a one-off, but when we talk about starting pitchers and 7, 8 year deals, David Stearns hasn't sniffed those. So I don't know. You know, I think it's a tough call because we haven't seen him on a mound in New York yet. Like, I think we need to see him before it's like, give him the bag, 8 years. And I know they kind of did it with Lindor. I think that's a different case. It's a cornerstone shortstop versus a pitcher who pitched his whole career in a small town, you know, in a small market in Milwaukee, mid-market, maybe we call it, mid-tier market. I shouldn't call Milwaukee too small market. They're in the playoffs a lot. But, you know, I'm not sure the Mets are going to be ready to say, here's 7-year deal. That's what he wants, too. Like, they could give 5 with a 6-year option maybe, but I just don't know if David Stearns is going to give that out before he pitches one single inning in the regular season with the New York Mets. You know, it's not our money, so we could say, you know what, it's Steve Cohen. Who cares? Just give it to him. And maybe it comes down to that. But I just don't know if David Stearns is going to be in any kind of rush before he even gets on a mound to just say, here you go. Here's a lifetime bag. And listen, I think it's great that Freddie Peralta wanted to come here. I think it's great that Freddie Peralta clearly is liking it here thus far, it seems. He's so all smiles. But that doesn't mean you just give him 8 years because he's smiling and you like him. And he's had a great career, no doubt about it. Is he Tariq Skubal? No. You know, is he one of the better pitchers in the sport? Yes. Is he top 5 in baseball, Freddie Peralta? No. Top 10, you can argue. Not top 5. Probably in the 10 to 20 range in terms of starting pitchers. I think top 5 would probably be too generous for Freddie Peralta. But let's see. You know, this could be a kind of thing. If it goes 7, 8 years, maybe they see him have a great first half and they say at the All-Star break, let's get this done before the potential new CBA. I do think they want to probably get it done before there's a labor dispute potentially. Now, I keep saying there may not be a lockout. That's no sure bet that there's a lockout. But they may want to get it done before that. Robert Stock's season is likely done, unfortunately. You feel bad for the guy. You know, he was looking good. I think there was a chance he was going to play a factor at some point of the year for this team. But unfortunately, Robert Stock needs to undergo thoracic outlet surgery. He had shoulder discomfort after a 3-inning outing for Team Israel. And he, unfortunately, will be out likely for the season. He hopes to be back on the mound by the end of the season, but Robert Stock likely is out. And, you know, this is a guy at the back end of his career that it's unfortunate. You know, in his late 30s, trying to reinvent himself, 36-year-old, signed a minor league contract, and now, you know, he pitched a pair of games for the Mets in 2021. He has not had great numbers in the major leagues, but he's reinventing himself every year to find ways back in the big leagues, and unfortunately, his year will be shut down. Juan Soto shut down the game the other day for the Dominican Republic, hitting a game-ending home run because of the mercy rule. And that is what the Dominican Republic is doing to teams. They are studded with stars. Star-studded DR, and they're going to be impossible to beat. I think they're winning the WBC. Shout out to Clay Holmes. He threw 3 scoreless innings, 6 strikeouts for Team USA. There's just a certain aura about the DR. The USA just doesn't have it. You know, go USA, go, but, like, they don't have it. And I think this is the DR's tournament to win. You know, the games have been electrifying. The crowds have been electrifying. I think it's definitely better than spring training, than watching a spring training game, 100%. You know, you kind of wish there was a way they could do this with the big leagues in spring, but you don't want to risk injury with that. It's tough to make, spring training is what it is. Guys play 5-6 innings. They play once every couple of days, the starters, and that's that. But, this has been a great tournament, and the DR is just running away with it. Juan Soto's just having a blast. I mean, you see how much fun this guy's having. That team it's like a video game team. It's pretty incredible. All right, folks. Thanks for watching Mets Daily. Hit that thumbs up. We'll read your comments tomorrow. Excuse me. Great weather, 70 degrees. Get outside today. Go enjoy the sun. Get a tan, and we'll talk to you tomorrow right here on Mets Daily.